Yeah, there was a broadcasting ban in Sinn Fein, which meant that their actual words couldn't be heard, just be like a synopsis of what they were saying could be broadcast. So there was a very well known journalist called Mary Holland, and she was working with the Dispatches program on Channel 4, and she approached me. I knew her well, and she said that they were going to defy this broadcasting ban because there were noises coming from Sinn Féin, she said, which indicated that they were more flexible, there was more potential for movement and change in what they were saying than there had been ever. And that these words needed to be heard. And so she asked me if I would lip sync Gerry Adams. It was a deliberate flouting of the law, but it wasn't breaking the law because it wasn't Gerry Adams's voice. But so I lip synced them in the best traditions of film acting. And so you heard everything that he said in all its detail, and all its ambiguity and all its potential complexity. So that what they were saying was re-entering the political debate. That's the stupidity of a ban like that. You can't stifle debate. If people want to talk, you should let them talk, because that's how things move on. So Mary asked me to do that. I'm taking a long time to say that, but she asked me to do it, and I said, well, of course I'll do it. But she was the brave one. She, I was just a hired hand. She was taking the courage of her convictions, and of course it did have an effect, because people did start to hear something else. So I was the first to do that. Then it became a habit. People did. I think I did them another time or two, and then I stopped doing it. I had no interest in doing it for the sake of doing it. But of course, at the time, criticism was levelled at me that this was a pro-Irish Republican thing to do. Well, it might have been, but it was also pro-democracy. It was in favour of a full debate. And that's the only reason things moved on.
Can you do the dual Gerry Adams?
No, I didn't slavishly imitate Gerry Adams at all.
Yeah.
I did. There was no point, really. In fact, I think Gerry Adams said that I did him better than he did himself. But that's, I think he was going for the humour there. But no, I didn't see it as my job to imitate him. I saw it as my job just to make sure that what he was saying was heard very clearly. So I cut some of the ehs and the ums and the what have you. I just made sure that the words that he was trying to get across were heard clearly.
To say that he needs to be clear that this is intended to be permanent, intended to be for good. Are you saying there's no more that the IRA can say in response to that?
I don't speak for the IRA.
I don't. Sinn Fein can say?
Well, if Mr. Major, as he should be doing anyway, wants to commence discussions with me or people who represent the party which I lead, we will start that immediately.
And if he says he won't do that until he gets this word permanent?
Well, you and the people in Britain need to ask what this is about. Need to say to themselves, does Mr. Major not want peace? Now, Mr. Major has said that he does want peace. So here's an opportunity presented to him to seize, to move forward. And as I've said before, you wanted some clarification on the Sinn Féin view. You came here and we talked, and I give you answers. You will make a judgment on that. Let Mr. Major proceed in the same common sense way as you have.
Were you surprised in 1988 when Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher imposed a ban on the media broadcast of your voice? And do you think it caused you to become a universally recognized face and symbol around the world?
Well, I don't know. Some said it was an improvement when other people were acting my voice. I mean, Stephen Rea once did a lip sync of me in a program which was so perfect. He got rid of all my impediments, and but it caused huge upset in the right-wing press in Britain and some of the right-wing press in Ireland that he had taken the time just to show up the absurdity. Your broadcasters and your journalists couldn't believe this. They just couldn't understand it. It was outside their comprehension. You know, you're used to having any sort of Amadon or lunatic coming on your TV and ranting on about everything they want to. So people just thought it was absurd. And one of the results of the Clinton visa was the British very, very quickly got rid of that because they were being held up to ridicule. Similarly, I was banned from travelling to London, even though I was a member of the British Parliament. Now, I didn't want to go to London to go to the British Parliament, but that's beside the point. But I was banned from going. Martin McGuinness and I were banned from travelling to England, and I used to joke that the plane that brought us to New York had to fly around England just to be safe. But again, that was changed because it was absurd that we could be in Washington, we could be in the White House, and couldn't engage with people in Britain about peace in Ireland. So all of these issues of censorship or repression will not work. All they serve to do is to protract and prolong any effort to bring about a political or a peace settlement.